got to be a little personal motivation in here, guys.
What I always tell our coaches are, you have to get to the grade schools. You have to get those kids ready.
Well, it's now the GCYL, the Greater Catholic Youth League, so they've even adopted our name, which is pretty cool. But I think that the physicality that these kids experience as they come through the grade school system is probably what prepares them most for being part of the GCL.
My grade school coaches and everyone taught me the basics, how to catch a football, how to run my routes, what plays to look at, defense and everything, so that kind of molded me into the player I am today.
Because if he goes to make a tackle and you're engaged, I don't care if he makes a tackle, but if he's an arm tackle, you can bury him as he's making the tackle, and we're going to break that for a touchdown.
You know, the fun thing to watch is you can see the kids that are still, just graduated, back coaching, helping out, doing whatever they can do.
I think a lot of them do such a good job that the kids stay out and they don't. Some of these guys get a little overly aggressive, a little overly zealous, and they run kids off. And I think, a lot of our coaches do a great job and understand its relationship with everything else going on in the kid's life.
They know what to expect when they get here. When they don't get here, they're not wide-eyed. They understand expectations. They understand discipline. They understand commitment, accountability.
Players need to know and feel like they can go to their coaches for anything, and vice versa.
The coaches know every player on a personal level.
It feels like a family bond more than just a football team.
Our offensive line, we'd go to dinners with our coach.
It's almost that father-son, brother-brother kind of thing, where I'm going to get mad at you, I'm going to yell at you just like your parents do. It's the same thing. I want you to have great success, and I'm going to push you as hard as I can.
My goal is to make sure I'm developing men here at Moeller. And, that's spoken about at Elder, X, and LaSalle also. It's important. I want to win every game. But at the same time, when these guys walk out of the building, I want to make sure they're prepared for life. I think that's my job. I think that's my main focus.
From a coach, you're looking for someone who is extremely committed. I think number two, you're looking for a guy that really cares. And I think the kids will run through a wall for you and do this and do that when they know that the coach really cares for them and really has their interest.
These guys, I think, see the work ethic of our kids. They understand the potential that's there, and realize that state championships aren't too far away as long as we work hard, do the things that we have to do.
That's the one thing that separates the GCL. You have guys that played in the GCL who want to come back and be a part of the coaching staff. They can bring the kids a different perspective. I think it's very important that the coaching staffs can make a difference in a football game.
I don't think you're ever going to argue that the GCL is one of the most athletic conferences in the world, but if you ask anybody, they're going to talk about the GCL as being tough and physical.
We've always got big guys on the offensive line, defensive line. They've always got size.
Every second you have to be ready to hit someone or be hit or make a block.
It's hard-nosed football and a lot of blue-collar kids.
I think it's that we kind of come in and push people around, which is it's good to have. Even if it's not true at sometimes, I think it kind of scares teams.
Playing running back, I get hit about 25 times a game, and after I'm just in the ice tub, just relaxing.
What makes it special? All these kids want to play on Friday nights. They don't want to stand on the sideline. They want to be the guy. Well, if you want to be the guy, you better prepare yourself to be the guy, and that's physically. You better get in the weight room. You better work on getting bigger, stronger, and faster.
We begin 28 days after the last game, which is what the Ohio High School tells us we can do.
That's where it starts over. That's where you erase the past. Whatever record you might have had the previous season, you can change it.
When you're out there, you can tell you're much stronger, and I give that a lot of credit to how hard we work.
There's some good teams out there, but it just brings a different level of intensity and physicality when you play an Elder or a Moeller or a LaSalle.
I think the hard thing is our kids get so excited for those games. You know, they're big rivalries. You know, our kids know a lot of kids on St. X's team. Our kids know some of the kids on LaSalle. Our kids even know some of the kids on Moeller.
When you go against GCL teams, you know anything can happen. You have to have an ASGO game. You have to be near perfect in your game, and other teams you can make a lot more mistakes than you can facing GCL teams.
Specifically, like sometimes from the GMC or just other teams that are not from this area, you can definitely tell that coaching is always evident in the GCL teams.
And then the crowds are usually bigger versus other schools. They might not be as dedicated, and the fans for them aren't either. So it's kind of not really lower key, but not as exciting, I guess you could say.
Game night in those games is unbelievable. The crowd's usually 10,000 people.
The student sections are huge and crazy when you play GCL teams.
You can just see in the stands the dividing lines where, you know, what people are wearing and how excited they are, how much louder the cheers are, how much more involved the student section is.
I love it. It's almost like they're competing the same way we are against the other team with the other school student section. So sometimes I wonder if, you know, the fans are there to see them or us.
It really gives you a feel of the college atmosphere, and that's what the GCL really is known for.
To play at Elder in the pit, I mean, every play is just, it's over-dramatized.
If we win, it's silent, and that sound can be, you know, it can be just as loud as the home win.
They one of the top-rated stadiums in the country. The pit is something special. It's like there's nothing like playing there in a high school. It's really a college field.
I always walk out on the field, some of the hot dogs grilling. I see the people coming in. It's always packed every game. You know, you hear your friends yelling to you, or you see parents, family, friends come in the stadium.
It adds the excitement, the enthrallment, and gives those kids, to me, that extra boost. Man, if you can't play here, man, I don't know where else you're going to need to play at.
People show up. That helps a program be good when there's that much involvement, because there's little kids that are in the stands. Little kids see it. I want to go do that. You know, they see the fans, they see how exciting it is, they see what the game's like on the field, and they want to become a part of that too.
It definitely can be pressure. Just going on the road, maybe, and it's a game you have to win to get your season back on target, or maybe to prove yourself that you're one of the elite teams, especially in the GCL. It can be a lot of pressure.
If you're in a program that doesn't expect you to win every game, or doesn't expect you to perform well, then I just feel like that's not a place I want to be at. I want to be held to a high reputation.
I think that the GCL is as good as any other conference. I don't want to say it's the best simply because there are great conferences out there, and I don't coach in them. I coach in the GCL, and I think we're pretty special.
Every year, you know, somebody from the GCL gets to that Final Four, whether they go to state or they don't go to state, but somebody goes from the GCL. That says a lot.
I think we have some of the best in the country. You know, that's evident through how successful we are in college.
I'd say, you know, again, it's awfully hard to compare something around the country on a high school level, but if you look at I think, who we play, and you look at our schedules year in and year out, it seems to be there's no league that does that.
Most people can't handle that 3-week stretch that we have to play each other. I think the coaching and the athletes, the pride and the tradition, all 4 schools have won.
I'd take our 4 teams and play any 4 teams from any other, you know, league in the country.
So I would say, you know, if we're not the best, we're pretty near the top.